Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. Thank you so much for joining. Here's a little bit of information about the University of Arizona Health Sciences. We're located in both Tucson and up in Phoenix at our biomedical campus. We are led by our Senior Vice President for Health Sciences, Dr. Michael Dake. Please follow us on all of our different platforms, and please follow me at A Medina Wildcat on Twitter. I'm Anne Marie Medina. I am the Director of Corporate and Community Relations for the University of Arizona Health Sciences, located here at our beautiful Tucson campus. We also have Caroline Berger, who is up at our Phoenix Biomedical Campus, and Allison Otu, who serves as our Executive Director. Please leave a question in the chat box at the bottom of your screen, and we'll have time at the end to ask questions of the presenter after she finishes her presentation. Don't forget, you will be getting that post-session email, and it'll come with an evaluation, all the links and resources, a link to today's video, and also links to all of our past. Here, our topic today, I'd love to share with you some of the wonderful pictures that you all sent in to us of your wonderful favorite pet partners. We have Lola, and then we have Scarlett, who seems to like to sit in the basket there of the little bike. Shadow, who lives up to her name. You see the girls, these are the goats that walk with me most mornings in the, along with the path around my neighborhood. They're very well behaved. They're off leash and they just follow each other. Carmi, who is one of our communications department pets. Pearl, who was a feral, a little kitten who was adopted by my daughter and is still pretty skittish, but she's getting better. Penelope is interesting. She's a 75-pound sulcata tortoise who wandered into my yard one day. She escaped from our neighbors. He's a fireman, and he actually rescued her from the side of the road. Never found her owner, so he adopted her and loves her. Mickey is also another one of our communications department pet partners. We have Bucky and Poppy, who belong to our communications photographer. You can see her pictures are wonderful. Nora is a beautiful kitty who was adopted from one of the shelters. There's Caroline with her puppy Peppy. Cato up in the corner there likes to go to the gym, but tends to like to just laze around afterwards. Mac is another wonderful little pup of our listeners. And Ren up there happens to be my 6-month-old Siberian Husky grand puppy. She's going to be a big girl. So thank you all for sharing your wonderful pets with us. We know there are many more, and this gives a perfect introduction for our speaker today. So let me introduce her. Her name is Inge Koopman-Leva. She's the Director of Education and Community Outreach for the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. Inge is recognized throughout the region as an innovative, creative, and organized leader in humane education, serving Tucson, Arizona for almost 2 decades now. She's an active member of the Association of Professional Humane Educators and the Animal Cruelty Task Force of Southern Arizona. Inge moved here in 2003 from her birth state of New York, where she lived in Brooklyn. And there, while she was living in New York City, for many years, she worked as a veterinary technician and membership associate for the American Museum of Natural History. She has her BA in anthropology and a minor in sustainable development from Hunter College in New York City. So welcome, Inge. How are you today?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me, Anne-Marie.
You're welcome. We are so pleased to have you.
I loved seeing all those photos, and that's a great icebreaker.
Well, I'll let you take over sharing the screen, and I'll be quiet.
So let me get this up. Thank you so much. So today we're going to talk about how pets help humans maintain mental, social, and physical wellness, and how that ties into the numerous programs and services that we offer here at the Humane Society of Southern Arizona in Tucson. There we go. So quick introduction to some of our ambassadors. While I have several pets at home myself, I have 2 dogs, 2 ducks, 2 cats, some guinea pigs, and hermit crabs. We have several ambassador animals that we invite into many of our programs at the Humane Society, serving adults and children. In these photographs, you'll see Valentino is our Staffordshire Terrier. He is a therapy dog through the Humane Society. an alumni of our programs, and a survivor of animal cruelty and neglect. So he visits many schools and our on-site programs. And then we have Gwenny, one of our ambassador rats. She's one of 5 that we have. And Gwenny was relinquished to the Humane Society by a family who was going through a divorce. And the little girl in the family had raised Gwenny and had her as her pet. And when the family split, they decided they couldn't keep her anymore. And Gwenny was a great fit for our youth programs that we offer at the Humane Society. Underneath is Spooky, who is one of our guinea pigs that visits schools and our different programs. And then in the middle, while we don't do adoptions of reptiles, we do often accept them into our facility because we do live in the desert and people see that we have wild relatives of snakes, so different types of snakes and reptiles here in our desert, and abandoning animals is illegal, so we will accept them. And so up top is Monty, who was brought into the Humane Society as a stray. He was crossing a very well-traveled road, and somebody tried to pull over and shoo him off the road and realized that he wasn't a native snake to our Sonoran Desert and brought him to the Humane Society. And then underneath is our yellow-bellied banana morph python, and his name is Sir Galahad. And so all of these animals are invited into our school programs as well as many of our adult programs. So the Humane Society has been offering services to promote the human-animal bond and wellness and animal interactions for over 76 years here in Southern Arizona. And we're just going to get right into wellness with children and child development, and then we'll talk about some of the programs that are related to this. So studies have shown that human-animal bond can play an important role in managing mental health in children, reducing stress, anxiety, and improved social connectedness. This is evident in all of our programming that we offer to students and to young people ages 6 through high school. In our programs at the Humane Society. Children develop strong emotional bonds to pets and animals that provide support, companionship, and reduced distress. For many children in our programs, pet loss is one of their first experiences with loss of a loved one or something that they really care deeply about. And that is a challenging emotion for children to process and digest. And so we are here to help them through that transition and that process and to offer them support. Exposure to pets at a young age can often reduce allergies and asthma, not just in young years, but even into adulthood. Dogs and other pets are non-judgmental and accept everyone. This is especially beneficial in our literacy programs that we offer when children are having some difficulty with comprehension or reading, and they are at one of our local libraries with the dogs, or at home, or more recently with our virtual programming. The dogs they just don't judge them. They don't care if they make a mistake, and so that really helps support children in their literacy development. Pet ownership has been found to offer psychological support for children and young adults. And we also see this supporting responsibility. Pet ownership helps children gain confidence and feel like they have worth and a purpose. And we see this in our programs as well. Children receiving long-term care in hospitals benefit from dog visitation. Oftentimes these children are experiencing pain, the distress and the kind of just stress in general and anxiety of being diagnosed with cancer or a long-term illness. And part of our visitation program into hospitals helps these children cope with these new challenges that they're facing, but also provides some normalcy to them. We also see in many programs with humane education and animal-assisted intervention or interactions and pet ownership, improve self-esteem in children. I can attest to this. We've had many children through our youth programs who come in and are extremely shy. And over the course of our programs and years, we have relationships with over multiple years with many of these children. You can just see their confidence blossom in their self-esteem, and in part that is because of their interactions with animals. They have increased social circles. Oftentimes friends are included in caring for those animals and showing those animals off. And so it just increases that circle of friendships that they have in social circles. Emotional health in children, children who oftentimes can feel loneliness or social isolation. And we see that quite often right now during the pandemic and having to be quarantined or maybe not attending schools in person. And pets help protect those children, but also help alleviate some of that loneliness and isolation. When we're talking about children who are on the autism spectrum, animals are extremely beneficial for those children. One, it just kind of helps alleviate some of the social discomfort that they may feel, and animals kind of unite them to other peers. And so oftentimes children who engage in animal-assisted therapy and interactions are more likely to have better use of their language, of their facial expressions. Physical contact with peers increases and improves. They're able to smile and laugh more often, improved calmness, and increased social acknowledgements, as well as interactions with their adults. So let's talk about a little bit of our humane programming. So one of my largest role at the Humane Society is in our education programs for youth. And so we offer numerous on-site programs as well as programs in schools and with other organizations. And so humane education is the field that I'm in. It teaches children about social justice, animal protection, and environmental ethics, as well as animal welfare, and how those all tie in together and play a role in the world. It develops a more compassionate youth and creates a more humane, sustainable world for all on Earth. And all these photos are children that have been in our programs in the past. The youth programming that we offer that supports the human-animal bond, and wellness, that was my kitty, are our school-based education programs. So we offer free school-based education anywhere from 1 to 9 visits to an individual classroom, starting off with lessons in animal welfare about animal cruelty prevention, bite safety, the importance of spay and neuter and population reduction. And then on our last visits, we incorporate the animal visitation. So we have our therapy dogs visit and some of our smaller pocket pets, depending on the request of the educators. We also offer internships for youth ages 12 through 18. So once they've outgrown our Hand and Paw Kids Club, which is right at the bottom, they then naturally transition into being a leader in our internship programs for our children's programs. And after that, they can transition into our adult, either docent or volunteer programs. And we see many kids coming back and participating in those adult programs as well. We have a Paws and Pages literacy program for kids ages 6 through 18 as well, where once a month they can come into the Humane Society and interact and read to our shelter pets. So it helps the children with their literacy, but it also helps the dogs become, and mostly we do it with the canines, with the dogs, mostly it helps the dogs become less fearful, more engaged, a little bit more social with our humans. So that makes them more adoptable. We offer birthday parties as well. Our school-based programs and birthday parties right now are on virtual platforms. So that is one of the challenges for any animal welfare organization that does education at the moment, is how to really promote that human-animal bond and the wellness that comes from the interactions with animals in a virtual world. The Hand and Paw Kids Club is a club that meets on weekends and continues to promote compassion and empathy and proper care of pets, not just pets, but also wild animals, all domesticated animals. And we hope that the tools that they gain from the programs that we offer really act as a metaphor for how to treat their peers, how to treat other humans around them, and how they themselves should be treated. There you see Valentina with a young lady in one of our summer camps. We also offer camps throughout the year during any school breaks. And she's listening to his heartbeat, although doesn't look like she's in the right place. So it's a learning process. We also offer weekend workshops that are specific in nature to different topics that are related to what's going on in the world with animals. They might be about diets. It might be about zoonotic diseases and illnesses. And really all of our programs try to relate everything that is involved in the care and that we need to provide as guardians for pets is also what children need. And then we also offer specialized programs that are for children who are exposed to trauma, either in the juvenile detention center, but we also have done programs with some of our First Nations children that are exposed to trauma. Our adult wellness and pets. So mental health and wellness is as important for adults and seniors as it is for children. Pet ownership and animal interactions have numerous positive impacts for adults as well as seniors. And in this photo, during the 4th of July, we typically offer a reading program to our shelter pets in the evening when fireworks are going off. It is the time of year in shelters where the most amount of animals are lost because they're fearful of the sounds of the fireworks. And so we do this reading program to help alleviate some of that stress and anxiety that those dogs feel, as well as some of the humans. The presence of pets can assist caregivers and family members of our elderly community members, as well as of our seniors. We see this in our long-term care facilities. We have, and you'll see a little bit later, we have a program called our Pet Therapy and Visitation program, and that is a free volunteer program where a dog and its owner or the handler go through a 6-week course, and they are certified to be a pet therapy team. So we have about 100 different facilities across Southern Arizona that we visit. Most of them are in Tucson. This could be hospice, group homes, libraries, senior living facilities, schools. And this free service is valuable because it continues to promote the human-animal bond and wellness. A lot of times there are family members that can no longer have pets, and that is such an important and vital relationship to us from birth through end of life that we are able to provide that service for free to community members. And typically we offer anywhere from 200 to 300 visitation hours a month. The presence of pets or having animals visiting reduces social isolation and loneliness in adults, similar to children, and instills a sense of self-worth. Oftentimes, if you have family and as you're getting older, right, we start to scatter, we start to spread our wings, and people maybe leave the home, and you have empty nest, and you might start to feel a little bit lonesome. Animals really get us moving, they get us out. We have to walk them, specifically with our dogs, and it really helps to have us engage with other members of the community that like pets. It gives us that real sense of worth to, okay, I gotta get up this morning, I gotta get out, I gotta walk my dog, I have to socialize, spend some time with it. So increased socialization with humans as well. It's a source of unconditional love. Our pets provide that for us. And this isn't just with dogs. So most research is with dogs and cats. For young kids, we also see research with guinea pigs and some of our smaller, what we call pocket pets. That just includes rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters, ferrets, those smaller mammals. Pets reduce depression, improve cognitive function in older adults, cardiovascular health, because oftentimes when we have dogs specifically, we're more likely to walk them and to exercise and to get them out. So it lowers levels of obesity. And for those of us working on improved weight, it is more likely that our kind of goal in weight loss is met when we have a dog that we walk more consistently. In cases of adults with post-traumatic stress disorder, dogs help reduce depression, anxiety. This is well studied, decreased heart rate, and overall facilitates the feeling of love and caring, and really allows individuals that are struggling with this to have the most normal kind of daily interactions that can really feel overwhelming to those people. Workplace wellness. So Anne-Marie earlier was showing photographs of all of the pups and goats and different animals that belong to some of the staff at the university. And really the studies show that where in organizations that allow dogs to come into their business, it is better for the customers. It kind of puts customers at ease. It improves morale, productivity, collaboration, peer relationships, and even the relationships between supervisors and employees. Some of the programs that we offer for adults through the Humane Society, and one of our most successful programs is our volunteer program. We have about 1,500 volunteers that believe in our mission and vision and are dedicated to promoting and continuing wellness and that human-animal bond, and socializing and working with animals to make them the most adoptable and most social, so that when they are placed into their forever homes. We also have a docent program, which is a slightly different level of training, and those docents work more with our education program. So our tours, our school-based education, and some of our seminars and different programming that we have on site in our facility. And so that's kind of a double benefit because it promotes that person's wellness, and ultimately it will, that volunteer themselves or docent, ultimately it will promote the wellness of the new adopter of the animals that are finding new homes, and also of any clients that are coming into our facility. Our pet therapy certification, I spoke to this a little bit earlier. It is a 6-week training program, and it is one of our pet behavior programs, and we're going to be expanding on this in the near future. But it is a 6-week training course, and the dogs that, or occasional pony that we get, or rabbit, and we have one cat that go through this program, are encouraged to go through basic obedience first, so that they kind of have just the basic commands down. And it is not for every animal, okay? It's not for every animal or every person. You really have to be dedicated to this program, because you do see oftentimes things that are very saddening, and then you take that home. So it is not for everybody, but we have numerous training programs to help our VIP teams through that process, that they might, those emotions that they might be feeling. And so these dogs and ponies are certified for 2 years through the program. And like I was saying earlier, we have over 100 facilities that we visit, and just as many therapy teams. And we're going to have some new program we're hoping coming soon that will continue to provide wellness to community members coming in from all, I can't tell you, but coming in from all parts of the world. So aside from the therapy dog certification, we have the visitation. And right now, more than ever, we see how people are really relying on their pets for that companionship, because so many of us are working at home. Our normal routines are disrupted at the moment. And so we had to figure out a way to continue to facilitate this. And while we are still doing on-site visitation on a limited basis, some facilities are just starting to welcome us back. Some of our hospitals are just starting to receive our therapy dogs again, not so much for patients, but for their medical professionals. We have started doing virtual visitation as well. So this doesn't have to be a group. It doesn't have to be a facility. It can be any individual who just needs some wellness, some companionship. You can sign up to do some crafts, to read, just to have a leisure conversation with a person, which is their handler, and visit with their pup, their cat, or their pony. Our Comfort Dog program is an extension of the pet therapy program, and this requires additional training, but this specific program is more for dogs and their handlers to visit folks who have had immediate and major trauma. Your house burnt down, a loved one has died, unfortunately, situations of assault and violence. And so our comfort dogs are available 24 hours a day. They would be called to an emergency scene or to the home of a family and the hospital, and they will go and assist that person in, again, reducing anxiety, depression, during that moment of extreme distress. And then our dog training and behavior programs continue to promote wellness, the human-animal bond. So right now we offer the Pet VIP program. We have rattlesnake aversion or avoidance, as well as toad avoidance. Those programs are designed to keep dogs away from some of our desert venomous and poisonous desert dangers that can be very costly and also a very traumatic experience for the dog, but also for its owner. And then we also offer the Canine Good Citizen, which is a basic obedience. So teaching dogs how to interact, and that's different for all of our families, but how to have and understand basic commands so that they are more well-behaved out in public, and then can also progress into other programs like our VIP therapy dog program. And then some additional programs and services that we offer are our animal cruelty prevention. So we have an animal cruelty investigator, but we offer programs for folks that have been convicted of, typically it's neglect against animals. And so we have a program for that, our wellness in our clinic to promote health for pets, adoptions, adult lecture speak series, and our foster program. And if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to accept those now. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Inge, if you want to stop sharing your screen, then we can see where we're asking questions. We do have some wonderful questions in the chat here. So first of all, you do have a great shout out from someone whose daughter attended the high school camp, and at the end of the week she said we also had 2 new kittens.
Oh, so we don't encourage that typically.
Yeah, but she says they're now 9-year-old lazy fat cats. So
I love to hear that. Thank you.
The camp was excellent, and she said that the reading at the library was a source of joy for her daughter and her mother also.
We love hearing that.
They love the suggestion of having the kids read to the animals. Do you have any other suggestions that they can implement at home to help with stress along with the animals?
So I would say brushing is just a calming and soothing activity, and it helps build that bond with the animal. So any type of petting and brushing at home right now, maybe playing, going outside with adult supervision, because not all dogs are great at playing and or sharing their toys. So always adult supervision. But I would say going outside and playing catch. Really, I think the most important part is just that kind of calm petting and cuddling with those animals, crafting with them. I don't know if anybody saw, but my kitty keeps trying to come up here and I keep grabbing the spray bottle to get her away. But normally when I'm in a situation of stress, I will sit and just pet her, and her purring will help kind of soothe some of that stress and anxiety that I may have.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of requests for links to your resources and programs, so we'll make sure and include those
Absolutely.
in the follow-up email. What's the best age for children to bring a pet into the family?
Ooh, I have mixed feelings about this. I think that it should happen as soon as you possibly can, because it does help develop a stronger immune system. And at an early age, you can slowly and gradually start teaching about proper handling and holding and how to pet and kindness and compassion. But you also want to make sure that the animal that you're bringing home is the appropriate animal for that child's age. Some animals are much more delicate or temperamental than others. So guinea pigs are pretty hardy and they're good first-time pets. Dogs are good pets, but it really depends on the breed of that dog and the age and the level of energy of the family. And that animal that they're bringing home, because you want it to be a lifelong match, not just fun and enjoyable when they're young and cute and cuddly. It's a lifetime commitment.
We did have one question. They wanted to make sure that donations were continuing to the Humane Society during the pandemic, and wanting to know how you all have been affected by it.
So, it's actually been amazing. Our adoptions have increased by 10%, and we are doing adoptions by appointment only. So people aren't just coming into the property and looking at dogs. When you come in, you know which animal you're interested in adopting, and it has been extremely successful, and we're probably going to carry that over once the pandemic has passed. Our donations are about the same. So it's just been incredible, the support that we've received from the community, not just in donations, but in adoptions as well. And I think the area that we've been impacted the most is in our education programs, because there is the fear and the concern of having on-site programs, and it is very difficult to, promote that human-animal bond in a virtual world. So our large fundraisers, in-person fundraisers, and our education programs are the ones that have been impacted the most. But our clinic procedures, our adoptions, and our donations are all either equal or higher than they were at this time last year.
That's wonderful. Well, we do have some questions mostly about the programs, things. We'll make sure and include all of those links to all the resources that you provided and answer specifically. There is a question there I want you to answer personally. So we'll make sure and get that question right to you, Jenny, because you had that one asked. So I will get that question answered for you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Thank you again, Inge. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Mm-hmm. So thank you to Inge and all of the information she provided. Like I said, we'll make sure and include that in the resources in the follow-up email. So I want to remind you about our next session will be on November the 4th. We'll be having a down week. This is going to be a wonderful one. We have Dr. Leslie Bosch. She's an integrative wellness coach who's certified by the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine. She's going to present on personal transformation and help you discover some best practices for increasing the odds of successfully navigating the territory between where you are now and where you'd like to be in the future. So it sounds like a really good topic. So want to give a shout out to Pima County Health Department and really thank them for all the work they're doing in partnership with the University of Arizona and the Stopping the Flu. The power to stop the flu begins with you. There are free shot clinics. The locations are on 22nd, Broadway, 1st, and Commerce Court. I will include those in the follow-up email. Get that flu shot. It's really important this year, especially with the COVID crisis going on. So again, on behalf of us at the University of Arizona Health Sciences, be safe, be well, and of course, bear down and mask up. We'll see you all on the 4th. Bye-bye.